I read the Bible both for research as well as edification, documentation as well as my own personal enjoyment. And I've read the Gospels many, many times, and lately I have been going back through the Gospels more slowly for my own personal enjoyment to see what truths I may have missed before. And as I have been reading the Gospels, one thing is clear. There's a lot of talk about demons. Take Mark, which I've just been reading lately. The very first chapter starts with the story of casting out demons. There in the synagogue, Jesus was preaching on the Sabbath, and a man manifested. In our International School of Exorcism, we deal with this particular instance in detail, and we point out this man was a godly Jew. That's who came to the synagogue on the Sabbath, and he had never manifested before, else they might have given him the left foot of fellowship, but they didn't, because demons hid until Jesus came along. Oh, there's so many remarkable things there that our students know all about. But Mark doesn't finish there. He goes right on 8 verses later in verse 34, and he says, the very same day, later that evening, Jesus was driving out more demons. And 5 verses later, he says Jesus is once again driving out demons. In fact, in the Gospel of Mark, there are 14 references to demons and only 10 to healing. In the Gospel of Luke, there are 18. In Matthew, 12. Well, with this preponderance of emphasis on demons, and the Gospel writers talking about it all the time, don't you think your pastor ought to talk about demons once in a while? And yes, some of you go to churches where the subject is never mentioned. You never hear the D word. Now, by the way, the Gospel of John is a little bit different. And in Course 9, Level 1 of our International School of Exorcism, we talk about why John doesn't go into demonic possession in the Gospels, but in his epistles and in the Revelation, there's a lot of talk about demons and Satan. In fact, probably more so than any other Gospel writer. Those who say that individuals such as me and those in deliverance are a bit imbalanced, let me suggest that we take another look at that. The exegetical disequilibrium is not on the side of those who talk too much about demons, but those who say so little about it. The real imbalance when it comes to the subject of demons is with those who oppose and even reject the casting out of evil spirits.